Hello friends, August is coming, and for a significant number of retirees collecting Social Security right now, what lands in their bank account on their August deposit date is going to look different from what they received last month. Not slightly different, meaningfully different. Different in a way that is either going to feel like a welcome surprise or a gut punch depending on which side of this benefit shift they land on. And which side they land on is being determined right now, inside SSA's processing system, without a single phone call to their house. The Social Security Administration has confirmed a benefit shift affecting August checks across multiple retiree categories. I have gone through everything SSA has officially communicated around this shift, the processing changes, the affected groups, the dollar ranges we are talking about, and I am bringing it to you today in plain English, because the way SSA communicated it is anything but plain. Some of you are going to open your banking app on your August deposit date and see more than you expected. Some of you are going to see less. And one specific group watching this right now has a narrow action window, something they can still do before August processing finalizes, that directly determines which of those two outcomes they experience. I am going to cover all of it. Who is affected, what the shift actually involves, what the numbers look like in real terms, and the exact step to take if your situation puts you inside one of the categories SSA flagged. Do not leave before the end. The last category I cover is the one SSA buried deepest in their communication, and it is the one with the most direct impact on the largest number of people watching this right now. And if SSA Now is where you come to understand what the Social Security Administration is doing before it shows up as a surprise in your bank account, subscribe right now and turn on the bell. The people here find out before the
deposit changes. Everyone else finds out after. In the world of Social Security benefits, that difference has a real dollar cost. Let me start with what SSA actually confirmed. The Social Security Administration has released updated processing guidance, confirming that August benefit amounts for several retiree categories will reflect adjustments stemming from 4 simultaneous triggers: annual earnings recalculations from the prior tax year reaching their final processing stage, Medicare premium tier reassignments taking effect mid-cycle, a new wave of overpayment recovery actions entering active status, and benefit amount corrections resulting from appeals and reconsideration requests filed earlier this year now reaching resolution. What that means in plain language is that August is not a routine deposit month for a large portion of the retiree population. Multiple adjustment mechanisms are converging at the same time, and the result is landing in accounts simultaneously rather than being spread out across the year the way most people assume these changes work. Let us go through each trigger and what it means for your specific situation. The first trigger affecting August checks: final stage earnings recalculations from 2025. Every year, SSA is required to review the earnings of retirees who continued working after claiming benefits. If your 2025 earnings were high enough to replace a lower year in your top 35 earning years, the years SSA uses to build your base benefit calculation, your monthly benefit goes up. This is automatic, and it is permanent. The increase follows you for the rest of your life, and it gets compounded by every future cost of living adjustment applied to your benefit going forward. The reason August is significant is processing timing. SSA's annual earnings review runs on a cycle, and August is when final stage recalculations from the prior tax year typically complete and begin reflecting in deposits. If you worked in 2025 and your
benefit is going to increase as a result, August is the month you are most likely to see it for the first time. But here is the risk that SSA's updated guidance specifically flags. If your 2025 earnings were not correctly reported, wrong number submitted by your employer, self-employment income that did not process correctly, a period of work that fell into a data gap in SSA's system, the automatic recalculation either processes based on the wrong figure or does not process at all. You get no notification either way. The deposit simply arrives at whatever number the system calculated, right or wrong, and without checking, you have no way to know the difference. Log in to ssa.gov today. Open your full earnings record, find 2025, and verify the number matches your actual income from last year. If something is missing or wrong, file a correction request immediately with whatever documentation you have: a W-2, a tax return, a pay stub, anything that establishes the correct figure. The window to have this correction reflected in August processing is narrow. Do not treat this as something to handle next week. Second trigger: Medicare premium tier reassignments adding August deposits. Your Social Security benefit does not arrive as the gross amount SSA calculated. Medicare Part B premiums are deducted first. The standard premium in 2026 is $185 per month.
But a substantial number of retirees are paying significantly more because of an income-based surcharge called IMA, the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. SSA's confirmed August shift includes mid-cycle IMA tier reassignments for retirees whose income data has been updated or whose appeal results have now processed. What that means is that some retirees are going to see their Medicare deduction increase in August because a reassessment moved them into a higher tier. Others are going to see it decrease because an appeal they filed or a threshold revision placed them in a lower tier. If you are in
neither of those situations, meaning your income has not been reassessed and you have not filed an appeal, your IRMA tier remains unchanged. But here is what I want you to think. If your 2024 income was elevated because of a one-time event that no longer reflects your current financial reality, retirement, a property sale, a Roth IRA conversion, a large distribution, you are still paying a surcharge based on income you no longer earn. And that surcharge will continue running until you initiate a correction. The form is SSA-44. You document the life-changing event, provide evidence of what your income actually looks like today, and request that SSA recalculate your premium based on present circumstances rather than a 2-year-old tax return. When approved, the surcharge is reduced or eliminated entirely. The correction reflects in subsequent deposits. People who complete this process are recovering $200, $300, in some cases over $400 per month, permanently. Download SSA-44 at ssa.gov or pick it up at your nearest Social Security office. If the IRMA situation applies to you, acting before August processing finalizes is meaningfully better than acting after. Go ahead and drop a comment right now. Tell me, when is the last time you actually logged into your My Social Security account and looked at your full benefit breakdown? Because what I hear from people tells me that most retirees have not checked in months, and in a month like August, that gap is costing people real money. Third trigger, new wave of overpayment recovery entering active status in August. SSA's updated guidance confirms that a new batch of overpayment recovery actions is entering active status this month. What that means, practically, is that retirees who have received overpayment notices in recent weeks or who are about to receive them are going to see their August deposit reduced as recovery deductions begin pulling from their monthly deposit.
Benefit. If your August deposit is smaller than expected and you have not received an explanation, check your mail immediately for an overpayment notice. The notice may have arrived before the deposit changed and gone unnoticed, or it may arrive shortly after. Here is what matters most if this applies to you. From the date printed on the overpayment notice, you have exactly 60 days to file a formal response. That window covers 3 distinct options, and SSA will not volunteer all 3 of them unless you ask. Option 1 is a formal appeal if you believe the overpayment amount is incorrect. Option 2 is a waiver request using Form SSA-632 if the overpayment was not your fault or if repaying it would cause genuine financial hardship. Filing SSA-632 pauses the recovery process while SSA reviews whether repayment should be required at all. Option 3 is a negotiated repayment arrangement if you acknowledge the debt but cannot sustain the default recovery rate being applied to your monthly deposit. The default recovery rate is not mandatory. It is SSA's starting position. A rate that fits your actual budget is available by request, but you have to ask for it specifically. Contact SSA at 1-800-772-1213 and ask to discuss a modified repayment arrangement before the August recovery deduction compounds into a second month. None of these options appear prominently in the notice. The letter tells you what SSA says you owe. It does not lay out your legal rights around challenging it, waiving it, or negotiating the terms. You have those rights regardless of what the letter says. Now you know to use them. Fourth trigger, appeal resolutions and reconsideration results reflecting in August for the first time. SSA's confirmed August shift also includes the resolution of a significant backlog of appeals and reconsideration requests that were filed in the first half of this year. If you filed an appeal challenging a benefit calculation, a denial, or a benefit amount you
believed was incorrect, and you have been waiting for a decision, August may be the month that decision finally reflects in your deposit. For people whose appeals were approved, this means 2 things happening simultaneously in August. First, your ongoing monthly benefit adjusts to the corrected higher amount going forward. Second, SSA issues a retroactive payment covering the months between the date your correct benefit should have started and the date the appeal was resolved. That retroactive payment can represent several months of the difference between what you were paid and what you were owed, arriving as a lump sum in your August deposit on top of your regular monthly amount.
This is why some people are going to open their banking app in August and see a number significantly higher than they have ever seen before in their Social Security deposit. It is not an error. It is what happens when an approved appeal covers several months of back payments simultaneously. If you filed an appeal earlier this year and have not yet received a decision, contact SSA today at 1-800-772-1213 and ask for a status update. If your appeal has been approved and you have not yet seen the retroactive payment reflected, ask SSA specifically about the timeline for the lump sum to process. And if you believe your current benefit amount is incorrect but have not yet filed a formal appeal, asking SSA for a reconsideration starts the clock on your retroactive eligibility date, meaning the sooner you file, the further back the back payment can reach. Here is what connects every trigger in SSA's confirmed August shift. Not one of them arrives with a clear personal explanation attached. The earnings recalculation lands in your deposit without a note saying your benefit went up because of 2025 earnings. The IRMA reassignment adjusts your deduction without a letter explaining which tier you move to and why. The overpayment recovery starts pulling from your check with a notice that
explains what you owe, but not what you can do about it. The appeal resolution adds a lump sum to your deposit without a breakdown showing how the retroactive amount was calculated. The system processes, the number changes, and the retiree sitting at their kitchen table is left to figure out on their own whether what arrived was correct, whether something better was available, and whether a window they did not know about has already closed. That is what SSA Now is here to prevent. So here is what to do before August processing finalizes. Log into SSA.gov and verify your 2025 earnings are posted correctly to your record. Check your current Medicare Part B deduction, and if it exceeds $185, determine whether a qualifying life-changing event in 2024 makes you eligible to file SSA 44 right now. If you have received an overpayment notice recently, find the date on it and confirm you are still inside the 60-day response window. And if you filed an appeal earlier this year and have been waiting on a decision, call SSA today and ask for a status update before August processing closes. 4 actions. Any one of them could change what lands in your account in August and every month after. If SSA Now helped you understand what is coming before it shows up in your bank account, subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell. Every SSA update, every processing shift, every benefit change that touches your retirement income, I track it and bring it to you in plain English before the deposit date arrives. And please, send this video to someone you know on Social Security right now. Their August check may be shifting too. Whether they find out today or after the fact is the difference that matters. I will see you.